Remember the days of the old school.
The Cat Stevens for you on a Monday morning goes, well, welcome back. Now, could we be wrongly diagnosing thousands of kids with behavioural disorders when all they need to do is get outside and play? It is time now for the Mixed Grill with our very own Deb Knight and a very special guest today, music superstar and all-round top lady, Cyndi Lauper.
Yes!
Yay! Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Obviously not expecting to be here, but we're very glad to have you. Cyndi, this report says kids are spending way too much time indoors and on screens when they can actually use some quality time outdoors. Do you agree?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you got to take the pads away and make them go outside. We used to do treasure hunts and make maps and then bury toys. And then they have to go and
that's cool.
go and
That's
find
fun.
it. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
You didn't make it fun, or just make them go out and start gardening or something. I used to have to garden all the time.
Did you?
Well, my grandmother had a garden, and I was her helper.
Do a lot of digging?
Well, no. I had to take care of the flowers. The digging part came when my mother told me to go out and dig to China. To get to the orange soil and think I was very
So close.
I'm nearly there.
Close.
Almost.
Almost there. I'm going to stick my head out and everybody's going to be walking around me.
Hey, I reckon there's some positive elements of this, and I think Cindy's touched on them then. But with the relevance too, it indicates that those with ADHD, that can be overcome by going outside. Got to be a little bit careful there, don't we?
Oh, of course, because it is a diagnosed condition, and so many people do suffer from it. Medication is really important for people who do suffer from it. But I think what the study is trying to point out is that perhaps when there's a borderline issue where kids need to actually have a balance, getting out into the sunshine, getting out, being active, being tired from being active is so crucial for kids as well. I think that's really important to factor into it.
Well, it's our fault. We're the television screens. You go, I don't know about here, but it's a little easier to take here, but like in New York City, just walking down the block, you can have an ADD attack. And there are ads, and they're hit with all this stuff all
It's
the
constant,
time.
isn't it? You're
It's our
bombarded.
fault. And the truth is that they don't really know if it's a diagnosed condition or this is going to be evolution. And the multitasking, like for instance, our son had ADD, HD, and still does, but they can be hyper-focused too on certain things that they're interested in.
And did
like
exercise
hockey.
help though?
Hockey.
Yeah, right.
Kids with ADD, HD do very well in hockey because they're skating, and they're watching the ice, and they're also hitting the puck. So you're doing a couple of things at once. So the kids with ADD, HD usually do very well at that.
It's fascinating.
Except for, when they get older and they start hitting each other. That's
With the
so
sticks,
good.
that's
Not
a big part of the
sticks,
hockey.
the whole concussion thing. But other than that, hey, maybe you can knock it out of you. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Well, how's this for multitasking? An Icelandic politician has delivered a speech to Parliament while breastfeeding. There she is. She's received worldwide praise for the move, saying, quote, "You've got to do what you've got to do."
Right? I agree with her.
Of course.
Sometimes you're just busy, all right? Just put a little thing over the baby. It's all good, but in those northern countries, they're more open.
More open.
Yeah.
It's northern country. Deb, what do you think?
Well, look, I mean, my daughter Audrey is 9 months, and I'm still breastfeeding her. And I find that when they're younger, I don't know how young the baby was, it's easier to feed because they kind of fall asleep. They do their thing. But when they get older, like my daughter is, she's just distracted. So I couldn't even imagine doing that. She'd be kind of pulling away, looking around, trying to check things out. But I think she made the point, this politician, that the choice was to either breastfeed or to take her off the breast, give her to someone else. She'd be screaming, crying. It would have been more of a distraction than what occurred anyway. So it's a natural thing.
You have to do what you have to do.
You have to do what you got to do.
And honestly, if your kid gets to a certain point where he wants his toys to also nurse, then, which happened to me, then you have to rethink it, to rethink the whole thing. Like, do you really want Buzz Lightyear to be nursing too?
Yeah, you don't want Buzz to get in the mix there.
No, it
that
was
could
wrong.
get messy.
He's
Yeah.
only
It was
human.
wrong. Yeah.
Lovely to see you, and look, let's hope that your new musical is going to those great northern countries as well.
Kinky Boots
Kinky
is
Boots.
actually going worldwide. It's pretty great. It makes a lot of people happy.
Of course.
Well, we all love it.
Dancing,
You make a lot of people
get your
happy.
kids out dancing.
Yeah,
That's another
beautiful.
thing, you know.
Kinky Boots, keep your eye out for it. And Cyndi, thank you so much for seeing you.
Thank
and
you.
Deb, thank you.
I'm just stoked to be here.
Well, I know, Nick. I know, that's what I like you're saying.
Exactly.
Cyndi Lauper.
I know, right?
We're coming up, the latest from the Gable Tosti